visit with Macil and Jimmy Neushafer at their home in Wildwood on October 1981. Sybil and Tom Boland were asking about the early days of Wildwood and Village Mills. A very old record player can be heard playing in the background.
Your family gave us when somebody burned them down up here. She said, I thought it was too good, so I put it out in the barn and said, if you want it, please put it. So she wrote it. It's
50 years ago, we gave it to the family that somebody's house burned.
Isn't it fantastic that it came full circle, though, and came back?
Yes.
Well, what I'd like to know now is, did both of you grow up in this area, or what's your family histories as far as your...
Mine has been here all along. Macil was Coons, Charlie. She taught school here. That's where we met.
That's where
She
I
was
met
teaching
you.
school.
First year I taught school.
Where, the schoolhouse is right where Chester Second.
That was one of my questions, was where was the school? And did it encompass Village Mills and Long Station?
Yes.
That took care of both of them.
Well, this is we talked to Miss Waddell and we tried to pinpoint all of these things. And what we plan to do, I guess I told you, is to reconstruct Village Mills like it was. And we're going and I don't know whether you're not a railroader or not, but they have all kinds of buildings, trees, mountains, timber, land, everything, all in kits. See?
Yeah.
And we plan to get these kits and reconstruct this Village Mills.
Now,
He can tell you more about that.
I sort of left out a lot of space right here. Here's Long Station and here's Village Mill, so there's a tract of highway here, and so right in this tract that's missing is where the school would be, if that's where... No, wait a minute, let's see. No,
Where's the Wildwood Road?
No,
Where's the
here's the
Wildwood
Wildwood Road, right here.
Okay, all right, now where's the hotel in Village Mill?
Right here.
Because we walked home for lunch. Sometimes she
And here's the commissary, the old commissary. Where was the school in relation to the
And
commissary?
here's the creek.
Let me see,
Is
here,
it-
no,
I
this,
think this is where this road, where this road came out to Wildwood.
mhm.
There were several houses. If you located a branch, a bridge.
Right here's the branch. And I was told that the old road went on the south side of that branch. Was that,
He went on the north side.
is it where the present road is now?
Well, close to it, yes.
It was more like this.
Right to the commissary.
And that, where was the branch in relation to the commissary?
Well, the branch, right on the back of the branch was the doctor's office, next was the barber shop, next was the church, the company office, and then the commissary, and the road went out to Jackie's right along.
Okay, then I need to move all of these down a little bit.
There were,
Just put it there.
from the schoolhouse, where where the church is now, there were about 3 or 4 houses down there, and then there was a little space to the branch.
Put the school down there.
Okay, well, the school, though, was on the south side of the doctor's office a good ways, wasn't it?
Well, it was, the school, yes, well, quite a ways, there were several houses between, there were houses, one, the
3
furthest,
blocks or 2 blocks?
there was a space in here from the schoolhouse, and there was a house right where the road came off, and there were 3 houses there.
Okay,
Then there was a little
let's
space
start
in the
right-
branch.
Let's start right back here and make an enlargement of that. Would you put the kind of how you would space those?
James, I want to ask you something. What is this road like?
Well,
This one that goes out to
Out to
Jackie's.
This is Waddell's right here.
That's Jackie's Road.
Jackie Road, all
North
right,
Shore.
is that the one that,
Meetings.
all right, is that the one that we went out to meetings?
Yeah, right.
All right, then,
Right back at the commissary.
then the store would be right there. What is this right here?
Well, I've got let me take this out. Mamie told me that the road had been changed a little bit, that it used to angle over this way instead of coming right straight out right on the
Came
highway.
around it, it probably did.
So let's do it that way.
And then there were about, from the hotel to this road, now the superintendent's house was first, wasn't it, Judge?
After the commissary.
But on this side of the road.
The superintendent's house and one other house and then the hotel.
Was it one other road? I
Yeah,
guess
the
so.
one where Miss Van Camp, houses live.
All
When
right,
we were
now-
teaching school there.
Van
Okay.
Camp, you say?
Well,
And now she's still living up
Sally
in Orange,
Clem is,
Sally Clem,
Coates,
Coates. You want to jot her name down?
when of course she wasn't there long, later she was gone.
She
Okay.
replaced me.
Uh-huh.
Oh. But then we've got, the superintendent's house and Miss Clem Coates' house, and then the hotel, and then, was that where the town hall was then?
No.
There was some
Town hall
question
was-
about
Town hall
the
was,
location of
was,
that.
well, I can tell you where it was. It was the branch, the doctor's office, the barber shop, then the town hall, then the
where we
company
had church?
office.
Was
Yeah,
that
where we had
right?
church, it was later a Baptist Methodist church, and they had,
It's down this way, not the church. It's the way where it is the commissary, the, what's that?
That's the
Company
check,
office,
no,
check
company.
office,
All right.
barber shop, church,
Barber shop, church.
doctor's
Then
office.
This is,
Then this was the town hall.
is that
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
Jane?
that's right, that
Okay.
was the town hall.
I didn't
See,
know
at
it
one
was
time,
all-
one time, it was a
Was-
two-story building that was, I believe, I don't know what Masons and Woodland were, I think they had a place upstairs, and we used to have dances
That was
downstairs.
before I
That was when I was just a baby.
We
And
was
later
telling
on, when
somebody-
Kirby took over, then they turned it over to the church, and they remodeled it some, and the Baptists and the Methodists hired a preacher each for 2 Sundays a month, and Coots had them for the other 2 Sundays. In other words, one Sunday they'd have the Baptist preacher preaching Billy's Mills, the Methodist preacher preaching Coots. Next Sunday they
Oh,
switched.
I see.
Now, in Coots, and Mason moved there about that time when her dad was sheriff.
I lived in the jail.
Your dad was sheriff.
Oh,
What was your name?
Garden.
You were Gardner? Well, excuse me if we stop this a minute. Are you related to Leela and Jack?
Yes.
But I knew them better than Mason did,
That's
because
right.
they
When
lived
I
up
tell
here.
you that,
did you live on Gardner Road?
No,
No.
no.
No, you lived here.
No.
I never, I just boarded
Jack
here
is,
when I was teaching.
Jack is
Lived
a
in
cousin
the-
to Mason's dad.
Okay.
He's my second.
You know, who was telling us that they used to go to the town hall for dances?
Well, that's what they had.
Was
dances
that
all
Miss
the time.
Mardell or
I don't
somebody?
know if she or Miss Relaford.
And then later on, that was years and years ago, that was really before, well, when I was 4 or 5 years old, they still had days, maybe after 8 or 10. But when I was up about 10 years old, I think, they converted that into church for the Methodist and Baptist. And what it's hard to say, in Coots, the Baptist church and the Methodist church was just down the street from one another, and they had separate Sunday schools. And then when Sunday school was over, one group would march out, march down to the other church, whichever one's going to preach. They
That's
preached in
right.
the Methodist church one Sunday, and the Baptist church the other.
Well,
In Village Mills, we had those same 2 preachers switching, but we only couldn't have two separate Sunday schools. So one year, we used Baptist literature, and the next year, we used Methodist literature. But everybody went to the same Sunday school.
That's
Oh,
fascinating.
boy, that's something. We still using the Coots Methodist ministry.
Well, when we started going together, I'd say something about old Brother Moon Jay knew him because he preached 2 Sundays up in Village. So I guess we heard the same sermons.
That is really interesting.
Well, James, you told me about all the, I remember our lights would go out at the hotel at 9 o'clock. What was the reason for that?
Well, the reason for that was, this was when you came up here, was during the Depression, and the sawmills closed. They had very few people
Power
there.
came from the
What they did, the
sawmill.
sawmill furnished the power, nobody paid for their lights. But they had to fire a boiler to get that, and they just worked 1 or 2 men, laid off.
All the
And,
music
they
that
had
used
to
to
be-
come from over there, you told me, what did they call it? A barrel?
Barrel house.
Did you ever have a barrel?
Oh,
house?
we had 2
I guess it was
Negro quarters. One, a road across the highway, this road that comes out to Wildwood.
Okay, and let me see if I can figure that out. This is the Wildwood Road. Here's Langston's.
All right, there's a road that came across here and curved into here. See, the sawmill was back over here.
Yeah.
There's a road went on up for Exxon, there's another road that crosses up here and went over into what we call the upper quarters and the lower quarters. The mill pond, the sawmill, and the mill pond's all in here. And there were two different areas where the colored people lived. And after dark, they didn't just cross the river. In fact, they stayed over there. They had their own activities, and they had this big old building that the company had built. And boy, at night you could get out, and they had a black man that could really play a piano.
You could hear them.
They're dancing and hollering, and then the company, I guess, built them for them. They were just